Welcome to the Complete Fitness Podcast with Core 4 Complete Fitness. Your episode is starting in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, peoples. Happy April 24th on Wednesday. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day today. Look at those blinks we're getting. And confetti.
No.
There has to be some kind of AI in this that just recognizes movements or something. But today, people, we got a good one for you today, like always. If you guys could do us one thing before we start on today's podcast, if there is a subscribe button either on YouTube or Spotify or iTunes, anything like that, if you could please press that button before you start listening. That way when we drop a new episode, you guys can hear it, and you'll get an alert right when we drop a new one, and it'll help us grow the podcast through you guys. So if there's anybody as well that you know this podcast could help, whether it's fitness stuff, mindset stuff, food-wise, diet-wise, share it with them so they can become a listener too, and we can keep on banging these babies out. Now, today, would you like to start it off, Ev? Go over the topic of the day. It's a good one.
Sure. I talked to you a little bit, obviously, before we started recording, but I think it's very interesting just the psychology behind people and how we like to see a finish line, right? Like, for example, I ran the marathon. A ton of people run races of all different sorts, and I ran 23 miles, let's say, and all of a sudden I could go, oh, it's only 3 miles till the finish line. And that propelled me towards the finish line. And then that last mile, it's like I had just run 25 miles. How am I going to find the energy to run one more? And it's that end goal finish line that kind of propels you. And we use that, I think, way more than anybody realizes. Either they're metaphorical finish lines, it's the end of a work day, it's the end of a work week. That's why Fridays are such a better energy. It's because, it's the end of the week. We kind of have this time, always kind of in our world, whether we're aware of it or not. And it's a little bit has to do with what we talked about last podcast, but not much. But I really kind of wanted to relate it to why certain programs in the fitness world are so attractive to us. We see all the times 4-week programs, 6-week programs, 21-day programs, and why they are so A, attractive, and B, why people have results on them. I think a lot of us like to see the finish line. And so we will start something that is challenging. The big popular one that happened last summer, I'm not even sure what the current status of it is or where it came from or whatever, but the 75 Hard Challenge got really popular. You heard of that one. You know that one. And so it's basically, there's a bunch of rules. You can't have any alcohol. There's a bunch of stuff you don't have. And then you have to work out twice every single day, one indoor, one outdoor. It's like 90 minutes, right? 45-minute indoor and 45-minute outdoor workout. And if you complete that 75 days in a row, you'll have a bunch of results, obviously. But the reason people are so apt to doing that is because you see at 75 days, I'm done with this. I will be done. So I will take on any amount of BS that I can for 75 days, and I'll just deal with it because one day it's going to end. And that is just simply not the way health and fitness works. You can't just one day start neglecting your body and expect things to be okay, right? Fitness is forever, is what we always say. It's something that is ongoing. Intensities may change. You might be really, really, in great running shape, like for the example I mentioned with the marathon, or you might be in great lifting shape, or back when you were an athlete playing a sport, you were in better shape. Sure, but you need to constantly still be doing it. You can't just full on bail. And I think that's where a lot of us get in trouble. It's just harnessing that mindset. You'll go, oh, I'll do this program for 6 weeks or 75 days or 21 days, whatever the challenge is. And I'll do it and I'll commit and I'll have a lot of great results. But I know that's just because one day it's done.
Yeah, and I think with a lot of people, like it's not sexy saying okay, you have to do this and you have to do it for the rest of your life.
Sure.
Like that thought, it's like the outer space thing. How you think of outer space goes on forever and ever and ever, and then you think about that, and it's kind of like freaks you out a little bit, where you're
Yeah,
like,
you
well,
stop.
what's at the end? There has to be an end. It's kind of like the same thing, where, like with anything, if you stop taking care of your car, it'll break down. If you stop filling up, you stop eating, you'll starve to death. If you stop exercising, your body's going to start to break down. But with like the 21 day, the 5 week, the 6 week, the 4 week, whatever that challenge time period is, like at least from like a gym perspective, it's to kind of show people how easy it can be to make a change for the rest of your life. And you're like, okay, I did this for 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 6 weeks. I'm stronger, I'm happier, I have more energy, I'm making friends. This kind of becomes a part of my life. And then you have kind of the other group or the other bucket that's like, well, it's the last day on week 6. I can be done now. I lost 6 or 7 or 10 pounds, whatever it is, and I'm gonna revert back to where I was on day number 1. And they're kind of always like ping ponging, where they're like, okay, I'm either getting in shape or I'm getting out of shape, or I'm getting in shape or I'm getting out of shape. But it takes away kind of that fear at first of knowing that like what's in the deep end, I don't know what's going to happen, and it just kind of helps people to almost just calm their nerves and go, worst case scenario is after 21 days, I hate you, I hate this place, I never want to come back. And you're like, cool, didn't work out, maybe we weren't the right fit, maybe it wasn't the right timing, but it helps take away that fear of like what's in the deep end, how am I going to do this for the rest of my life, because you're able to kind of see, oh my gosh, I can plug in a half hour or whatever it is, 40 minutes a day, or I can go for a walk every day and I can do this. And if I can't do it by day 21, then, maybe it didn't work for me. Maybe I had too much stuff going on. But usually by the end of whatever it is, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, people are able to go, okay, this isn't that scary. I'm not scared of what's out in the beyond anymore, and this is something that I can begin to apply in, day out in my life. And that's how you get healthy for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and eventually the whole rest of your life.
Yeah, I think that's what not enough people either A, realize, or B, kind of get with the just what health and fitness is. You see something and you go, oh, 75 days later, no matter how hard it is, I'll be in shape. And then that's it. If that were true, if you walked into a gym, there wouldn't be any fit people in there. Like, why are there very fit people in gyms? Because they're maintaining, they're constantly doing it, right? It's forever. So if you see one of these programs, whatever it is, I think the thought of thinking at it as a kickstart, as a beginning, is really what's really going to benefit anybody. But if you see it as just the goal, that's kind of the mindset we need to adjust and switch. Otherwise, it's constantly the yo-yo. I get in shape these really great 6 weeks. I was in shape for 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden everything started falling apart. And now it's 2 months later. I need to find another 6 week program. I need to find another whatever. So the other thing that interests me is how much more just willing to do stuff people are when there's that finish line. And it's fully mindset, right? It's fully, like you said about the scariness, it's fully the idea of knowing I don't have to do this forever if it's something I don't like. But like I always use the example of laundry. If you were to think about the amount of laundry you had to do for the rest of your life, it's crippling. You go, "Oh my god." But I guarantee you're going to get all your laundry done because when it's time to do laundry, you just do laundry and you move on with your day. That's what we need to start adopting with taking care of our body. And it seems so silly and crazy, but it's like, yeah, if you think about the fact that you're going to have to do this every single day for the rest of your life, it's very overwhelming and stressful and intimidating, and it leads to a horrible, horrible, lousy existence. But if you can just go, oh, did I take care of my body today? Yes or no? Make sure you check the yes button. oh, did I do my laundry today? I need to do laundry today. Yes or no? It ends up being literally, quite literally, the same type of um, thought. So I guess the point of me bringing up these challenges and stuff is it's so interesting. If someone goes for, we'll just keep using that 75 hard example. All of a sudden, people can find 90 minutes a day to work out. All of a
Yeah.
sudden you can find an extra hour to be outside because you need to for this challenge, or all of a sudden you can join a gym and then also do this, and then you can eat all of these certain foods, and all of a sudden you don't need to have alcohol every single day because it's in the 75-day window. It's just so fascinating. It's like, well, why don't you just don't worry about the 75 hard day window and slowly start implementing those. Every other day you get outside for 45 minutes. Every other day you don't drink. Every other, and just think of it as an overall picture of what health is in the longevity, and not so much about, hey, if I just stop drinking for 70 days, my life will be different. And it'll be
Yeah.
different for those 70 days, but you're living a lot longer than 70 days. Hate to break it to you.
Well, that's what I always tell people too. I'm like, whenever you complete a challenge, especially getting in shape, the first whatever time that you're doing it is important, obviously. But the most important day is on like day 76 or
Right.
day 22. Like, are you going to go back to all the crap that you did? Or you go, okay, I reached a goal. I lost, let's say, 10, 15 pounds. Maybe I don't have to be as completely, regimented in this routine as I was before. But like we talked about last week, I'm going to implement those things where it's going for a walk, hitting the gym,
Yep.
avoiding sugar, avoiding bread, focusing on protein, getting in water, getting in steps. And you can take the principles and apply them forward and go, okay, maybe you didn't like the 75 part. Maybe you're like, this was miserable. I had no fun. But you go, okay, if Saturday is our family day and we order pizza, um, that's going to be my one day where I can just kind of just relax a little bit and enjoy family time. But then it's right back on track the next day. Um, and even just to like piggyback on your laundry thing. So the past like every weekend we've had crap going on. So Sunday we had a ton of laundry to do. We had like two bins inside of our bedroom that needed to be folded. We had two other bins that were just like clothes that had to be washed. And then we had two bins that were in the basement that I had to be brought up to fold. And like, it's one of those things you look at and you're like, we're going to be doing laundry for a freaking hour. This sucks.
Yeah.
Taking it up, taking it down, taking it up, taking it down, get the new load, fold it, rather than just going like, I'm going to do just the laundry a little bit each day or every other day as it has to get done, which
Yeah.
won't be that backbreaking. It's just a little bit of work each day so I don't have to face this big, huge, monumental task. And it's like going to the gym or working out. Like, you'd rather go like, I got to get 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds off of me. That's a, doable task that you can probably achieve in a couple months, rather than go, oh my God, I let this big heap of laundry build up. This is going to suck. I have to do all this. It's going to be exhausting. I have to start kind of at square one. And even with people that have like big weight loss goals, if it's 50 pounds or 100 pounds, I've talked to these people and they're like, the hardest part is when you lose the first pound and you've only lost a pound. They
Right.
go, even though I'm moving in the right direction, everything's going, my body's changing, I'm getting healthy. They're like, I got 99 more to go and I still got this pile of laundry. And they're
Exactly.
like, okay.
It's
And then
because they're finding the finish line. They're looking
yeah,
for the finish line, and that is what's the driving, motivating force. And you're never gonna. It's kind of like if you want to think about your life. That's what everyone's looking. Oh, 1 year I'll be making more money, or 1 year I'll be retired. Like, you keep moving the goalposts back, 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 back to the carrot dangling in front of your face, and it can be motivating, but it can also totally take away from all of it. It can be deflating. As much as it can motivate you to keep moving, it can totally ruin. Exactly. In that instance, someone's trying to lose 100 pounds. It's not going to happen quick. And so you can't lose 100 without losing 1. You can't lose 100 without losing 2. And so it's really the best and greatest way to kind of get into this thing is the lifestyle change. And we sincerely do that by every day. You know, if you have this goal, every day you go, did I get closer to the goal or further? And you just have to check your box. And you go, oh, I ate well. I got my workout in. That's one day going forward. The next day it's not. Okay, well the next day you better be again. And you just need to string together more forward days than backward days at the end of the day. But once in that example you used the 1 pound and seeing it's only 1 pound, it's no, it's not only 1 pound. That's a pound, baby. That's a pound better than than I have been in the last 10 years. Come
Yeah.
on, we're finally doing progress. I'm finally doing something that's working for me. And if you can just not think about the other 99 and just go, sweet, I won today. I'm going to do it again tomorrow. You're just so much more likely to just have just a happier general outlook, and B, keep it going because it's less intimidating. It's less all of the laundry. It's more so like, I had laundry, I got it done. It's out of my mind. I had to get my 30-minute workout in. It's out of my mind. I had to get my steps in. It's out of my mind. It's like the more end goal we have, the more it allows us to occupy our mind, which allows more opportunity for the negative to take over.
Yeah. And it's kind of like how you said with the marathon thing. You're like, imagine if everybody started the marathon and they were like, I got 26.2 miles to go, and
Brutal.
they didn't do anything. They were
Brutal.
like, this is too far. But you get a mile done, you get 2 miles done. And then when you start to go like, oh my gosh, I'm getting closer, that's when it starts to get fun. And you're like, I made it all this way already. It's working. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. All that I have to do now is just keep going, keep going. I got the toughest part behind me, which is just starting.
Exactly.
But I know every step that I take is going to get me closer and closer and closer and closer. And eventually you take enough steps, you cross the finish line with everybody else, and you're like, cool, that wasn't all that difficult to do.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, you literally cannot complete 26 miles without completing one. It's just that's just the way it is. You got to start, so you can just wait around and never start, or start. And you can apply it, to anything we do in life. Like when you were 18, 19, 20 years old and you're starting college and you go, what do I want to have a degree in? Like, it's so intimidating to be like, oh, when I need to have my degree in so and so years so then I can start my career and make this. It's like, no, what you did is you woke up, you were hungover, you brushed your teeth, and you went and you sat in that stupid class. But you did it. And then eventually you were on a stage getting your diploma. And then eventually you were applying for a job. And it's like everybody did that. We've all done that. If you're listening to this podcast right now and are living your life in your house, in your car, in your whatever, you've done steps to get what you have. It's the same thing with our health. I mean, it's most important with our health. This great video I saw online. It was like, if I said, "Hey, do you want $10 million?" you would say yes. Who wouldn't say yes? But if I said, "Hey, do you want $10 million except you die tomorrow?" Nobody says yes. Who cares all of a sudden about $10 million, right? It's easy to forget all the stuff we take for granted. And this is a whole other podcast, whole other topic, but we got to protect our bodies. It's like one of the few things that is fully ours and only our responsibility to not neglect, and we need to take care of. And you can't think of it as this end finished product. It's every single day yes, I did good for my body. No, I didn't. And you just got to check yes more than no. That's really it.
Yeah. And that's the good thing about like when you break down, like, whether it's a 21-day thing or a 6-week thing or 75 days or 90 days, just like you said, I think a lot of people in their head go, I'm going to mess this up. I'm going to break it. I got a wedding to go to. I got this to go to. And those things are always going to come up. But just like you said, if at the end of day 90, and we might have touched on this before, if you have 82 awesome days and you let 6 of those days that weren't really perfect, maybe you got sick, maybe you had an event, maybe you had a wedding, maybe you had a night out or something. Let's say there's 5 or 6 of those spread over the course of 90 days. I still guarantee you on day 90, you're going to look freaking awesome because of what you did over those 82 days rather than what you did over those 5 or 6 or 7 days over the course of 3 months. And I think for a lot of people, they go, I don't have a perfect stretch, so why even start? Because I'm going to make it 2 or 3 weeks and then I got this thing coming up.
Exactly. It's the
And I'm
all or
like, yeah, I'm like, you can still keep going. Like, you can have that event, and then the
Yep.
next day get back on track, and the next day you're back on track, and the next day you're back on track. But for a lot of us, we look at one single thing on, oh my gosh, this isn't going to be perfect for me. I'm going to mess it all up. And ultimately, that's not what, health and fitness and staying in shape is all about. You want to be able to enjoy those events, to look good, to wear what you want to want, to know that like I busted my ass for the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks, and I really earned this night out to have a little bit of fun, rather than I went to Mickey D's on Monday, I went through the drive-through on Tuesday, I got a pizza on Wednesday, and then you get those experiences that you're like, I feel gross, I feel like a slob. This, celebration, let's say, isn't like as meaningful, even like for our guys' night. Like when we went out, part of the reason why it was fun as hell is because we don't get out much. And you're like, okay, this is our one time to have fun. We can
Yep.
let the wheels fall off, not feel guilty on it. We work our butts off. We take care of ourselves. So if once every blue moon, we go to a concert or something, you don't have to beat yourself up about it because you've done the things in the past that led you up to this point, and you're going to do the things going forward that let you keep going up to that point.
Yeah. Yeah. I have this great quote is if everything was ice cream, nothing would be ice cream.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's the same. It's the same thing. Like, yeah, ice cream's a fun treat. It's a fun surprise. It's a fun treat. But if you had it for every single meal, it's not a treat anymore.
You kind of get
It's
sick
just
of it.
kind of what it is. And so, yeah, it's okay to. You can't have the good without the bad. You can't have the peace without the struggle, the grind, every single metaphor and cliche thing you hear. Dedicate some time to just, yeah, it makes the sweet sweeter, makes the ice cream better when you are just, you know,
You
and so
need
on and so on.
darkness so that way there can be light.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's so cliche and just like cheesy, but they're a reason they're around. They're timeless, these sayings, because they just keep proving true over and over and over. And
I
so,
agree.
yeah, I guess if anybody is listening to this and wants the message away from it, it's stop worrying about the finish line and show up for yourself today. And guess what? Tomorrow is going to be your new today. And so show up for yourself. Show up for yourself. Some days more than others. Some days you won't. Some days you will. But more days than not, show up for yourself and good things will happen. Take care of your body. It's the only one you get.
Only one. And if it breaks, you're SOL.
You
Unless
can't just swap
you
it
want a
out.
fake leg or a fake arm or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But no thank you. What else? What else? Who you think the Lions taking in the draft, baby?
I quite literally have zero idea. Could
I
be
want
anybody.
to.
And honestly, to further the point, I'm
Huh?
losing you. You're getting all
Oh,
choppy.
you're good. I can hear you again.
You're getting all choppy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm rolling with Kool-Aid.
Yeah. I'd be happy with that. I'm honestly just happy. They're whatever. They're good. They're one of the best teams in the NFL. They've been drafting great for years. Whatever. They got it. You'll be all right. Choose who you want. It'll be fun.
We'll see.
Never
Next
thought
week,
I'd see the
people,
day.
we'll have a new player. I legit thought the draft was all last week. I came into work on Monday, and I'm like, this is going to be the best, or last week on Monday, I'm like, this is going to be the best week of sports ever. The Wings are going to make it to the playoffs. We got the draft in a couple days. I wore my Lion shorts to the gym on Thursday. Then I was like, draft night, baby. And then somebody was like, yeah, my husband's going down. He said it's not till next week. And I was like,
Uh,
God. And then the Wings ended up not making it. No draft.
just a
So
collapse.
I know, just a complete collapse of a week. I was like, oh, now we have zero things to look forward to. But we shall
Got it this
see.
week, baby.
We shall see. But that's all, peoples.
That's it.
Your baby
Good
turns
pod.
2.
Yeah, Rowan turns 2 this. Well, by the next podcast, he will have turned 2. Crazy to think about. You know what's actually really awesome is it's all documented. We've been doing this podcast long enough that I have the months leading up to when he was born. I have his first year. I don't think I talked about him all that much on this podcast, but there's some. It'd be fun to go back and listen one day and kind of see where my life was during all these times and how things have shifted and changed. But
I know.
insane that he's 2. Insane.
As much as social media gets a bad rap, that's the one thing, like the
That's a
Facebook
great point.
reminders and stuff where it pops up. Like this time,
Yeah.
4 years ago, here's what your kids looked like.
Yeah.
Dave was saying that she had gymnastics last night and we were coming home. And I told her, she's like, what do we have going on this weekend? And I said it was Rowan's birthday. And she's like, he's going to be 2. He's not like baby Rowan anymore.
No, he's getting there. He's fun.
Free thinking young man.
He's fun. He understands that. He understands that he's growing. It's crazy. We were at the park, and he loves pickleball because I think he thinks it's funny, which I think it's funny too. So I get it. Pickleball. I mean, come on. Think of any other name.
I know.
But they. I mean, it feels like somebody was like, "Oh, I made this game. Hello,
Think of a name
2-year-old
real
son.
quick.
What should we call it?" And the 2-year-old son went, "Pickleball." And he went, "Okay."
Done.
Anyway, he loves pickleball, and we were there, and there were big kids, which were just adults playing pickleball. And then when we were walking home, he said, when Rowan gets bigger, he'll play pickleball. And I was just like, God, you're a little guy who understands that you're here now. Did we talk about this already? I might be repeating myself.
No.
And you're just, and you get it. You look at me going, oh, one day I'll be big like you, Dad, and one day I'll be whatever. And that's crazy to watch that development that he just gets it already. That's cool.
He's just undersized right now.
Currently just a little undersized, but that's
Just
okay.
a little undersized. We'll get him there.
We'll get him there.
We'll get him there in due time.
That's
But
right.
that is all, peoples. Like always, should you need any supplements to help you on your journey, whether it is 21 days or 5 weeks or 6 weeks or 75 days or 90 days or for the rest of your life,
It's
head
forever.
to core4supplements.com. We got the best tasting stuff in the world. I'll put us up against anybody. The protein is delicious. Not just saying it because it's ours, but it's yummy.
Good.
Our kids will drink it. I'll drink it. The gym members drink it. It's good. We got gummy, either vitamins. We got deep sleep gummies. We got stuff that'll help your joints. The Joint Flex gummies people love. You name it, we have everything under the sun. And best part is, if you're watching or listening to this and you use the code word podcast, you will save 10% off of your entire order when you check out. So at the last page, after you click on what you want, before you pay, type in the code word podcast where it says coupon code, I believe, and then you'll save 10%. If you spend over $100, you get free shipping on all of it. So if you want just to arrive on your door, don't want to make the trip to the gym, or you don't live by where our gyms are, we'll drop it off right at your house for you. Physically, me and Evan will drive to your home, no matter where you are, and we'll drop it right off at your front porch. Get right back home. But that is all, peoples. Behave yourselves. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. And we shall see you all next week. Ooh, fireworks this time.
Fireworks this time. No balloons.
No balloons. Didn't earn it.
It's something with my hands. I have learned that much. Something with my hands will create things.
Nothing.
But
We got to keep on.
all right, everybody.
See you, peoples.
Bye-bye.